Ladies and gents, Om Suji and this is India-Pakistan war update, I'm guessing. That's this video. I'm gonna guess this video is not that updated. It's about the things that I know since I live here. I know people where shit is happening and know people in military enough as well. So yeah, this video is gonna be about basically, I'm pretty sure like a lot of people told me in the comments like, news is here and there. So obviously they like me making this video so they can be updated somewhat. And yeah, I don't watch Indian news because it's just fucking weird. Right, the way they talk, is that a news or is that like just screaming? I don't even know what the fuck is happening. That's the case everywhere, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's really interesting how war has started since still going. Right, it's kind of what I predicted because it's common sense. I'm surprised how people didn't know that. But it's gonna be interesting. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so before we watch this video, which obviously will be in detail, and I'm just going to summarize here. Okay, so issue started with a Kashmir event, obviously, that we already talked about, and we've seen about how the same group that did the Mumbai attack and since has been doing a lot of attack in past 5 years, multiple attacks in Kashmir against military officials, military people, and everyone. And recently, the attack was on civilians. That was a difference. It was a very different and big attack, but they've been attacking. So this was the last straw that broke India's camel back. I don't know. So, India decided to respond back. First of all, they stopped the water, obviously, because Pakistani military had ties with this, organization. It's there, right? Recently, they even posted a photo, right? Military people with the leader of this military group in a funeral. It's like, come on, can you be more on the nose? Like, how can anyone just say, oh, that's a fake? It's a literal photo now. It's happening, right? So you can't really say like, oh, this is like proven now, right? So what India was saying, it's now proven now. And many agencies also knows about these ties. So India basically stopped the water because Pakistan is doing this. You can't fund an organization deliberately so they can kill civilians, which is like an effed up thing. This is like a die-hard level thing, clearly making you a properly bad guy. And then India doesn't stop the water. Of course they're going to do that. Of course they're going to do some drastic like that, right? So India did that, and they are like acting with a victim card. Oh, we're going to respond. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Yeah, India's not done yet. India still haven't responded to these terrorist cells. India could have attacked Pakistan itself, but what they did was they attacked terrorist cells and terrorist training grounds, specifically saying that we are not attacking any military things. This is why all the Rafales getting shot down thing came out. There is no proof of it getting shot down, but even if it did, which I believe it can happen, because India full knowingly that there is a anti-air defense is there, they can't touch it. The first means is taking those out and then attack, so air dominance can be achieved. This is how military works. Indian Air Force didn't do that because they can't touch these things. So full knowingly they might shoot back and shoot down this plane, fourth generation plane. They still did their strikes, right? With the French Rafale. Why did they use French Rafale? Because they were using French Scalp missile and Hammer missile, which are insanely good. These are stealth cruise missile and like guided bombs, right? Which hit all of their mark. Not a single one of them were intercepted, by the way. There you go for the Chinese defenses. Not a single one of them were intercepted. All hit mark. And then they're saying like, okay, we should. First of all, like I doubted, because Indian planes were in Indian territory. You need to shoot from a long distance for a plane to be shot down. And how you immediately gonna know like, oh, planes did something? Plane launches missile is in the air. There's a stealth missile, so before you realize it, plane is already coming back to base. When did you shoot them down? So I don't know. This is like all the information out there is murky. India saying none of that shit ever happened. I'm pretty sure like CNN or something like Pakistan's prime minister went there and they said like, where's your proof? And he had no proof. So it was like, why did you come to the news in the first place? So this should happen. India hit all the marks. All the things were happening. Rather than realizing like, oh, India have to do this. India have to hit these terrorist cells because our people did the terrorist shit in the Kashmir. The whole environment of Pakistan, first of all, the leaders are, oh, this is like war, we're going to hit back. Even the people on the ground, or maybe were bots, I don't know, flexing like, yeah, we should down this and that. This is not India-Pakistan cricket match. You did something heinous and India is answering it. It's like Germany boasting during the World War II time. You're the bad guy right now. Right? What the fuck you boasting about? So all that shit happened. Then okay, Pakistan's gonna respond or something. 2 days ago, Pakistan targeted 15 cities and their military and airports, basically 15 cities, and targeted Indian military and civilian areas as well with airports and things, right? India didn't do that, by the way, and they're responding, they're flexing like, yeah, we Pakistan, we can do anything. I don't know where that shit is coming from, which precedents are using. All the wars you fought with us when India was weaker than Pakistan, by the way, in a lot of ways, with the technology and everything, India won. India went inside the half of the Pakistan before they pulled back. This is the shit happened in the past. Right now, India is much more powerful than Pakistan. I don't know which flex they're doing, or we're going to attack 15 cities. Indian Iron Dome, which is consist of S-400s and many other indigenous systems. Now, you can have opinion about S-400 all you are, but it's one of the best systems on the planet. Maybe not as good as American one, but we are not fighting America, are we? So every single one of those missiles and drones were intercepted. Not a single place exploded. And this is not some fake news. I have people, like this happened very close to where I live, in my own state, right? I have people there. They've seen these things working in the skies. They would have heard if there was an explosion. In many other places, I have people there. There was no explosion. It was all happening in the skies. Every single one of those things were intercepted. People didn't even realize until, military came out and said it, because there was no explosion. No news coverage ever ran out and, here's the explosion happening. India is not Pakistan. India is a democratic country. You can't just suppress people. Some guy with some camera with some blog would come out and put that on a blog like he's a news. Nothing like that should happen. Because it didn't. Every single one of those things were intercepted. India responded in the morning by blowing up 10 of the cities in Pakistan with drones and, I'm guessing, missiles. But definitely drones. I remember at that, it was 9 a.m. where I live. And there was like news circling. People were in panic in Pakistan, in Lahore and things. But explosion happened. I didn't know. Nobody knows Indian military. People assume like, oh, wait a minute, it could be like some other militant groups. Apparently Pakistan has issue with. Like Afghanistan or something like that. No, it was Indian military. And I'm like, okay. And I had a feeling it's probably Indian military. Because 10 different locations were hit inside Pakistan. If other militant groups can do that, they would have done that by now. Of course, it's Indian military. And it was Indian military. Why did they do it? Because 15 locations at the night were the target of Pakistan. Not a single one of them were hit. And India blew up Pakistan. That's the shit happened. This is the power disparity. I told that in the past. People are like, oh, India doesn't want to fight Pakistan. In which universe are you saying that? Do you understand statistics? Do you understand what number is? India is a proper country with proper government, proper military. Pakistan is governed by military and maybe they have government. Where it's like corruption is all around high. Not the Indian government doesn't have corruption, but not at the level that it wouldn't function. Pakistan has a corruption where the military will take money. Is that even going to their military equipments? I highly doubt it, because not a single one of those things worked. Chinese defenses cannot be that bad. Only reason they didn't work, I'm guessing Pakistan didn't maintain it. If you don't maintain shit, it's not going to work. India maintains their shit. They have money. 5th biggest economy in 2 years is going to be 4th, throwing Japan back. Sooner is going to throw Germany back. This is the projection. This shit is happening. It's increasing. It's not stagnating. China is stagnating. India is increasing. So it might hit much faster than that. So Pakistan like, oh, we're going to do this. You're crying for $7 billion loan. The IMF might stop. $7 billion is nothing for Indian military, let alone the whole country. Indian spending is much higher. $7 billion is nothing. Right? They throw $7 billion at Rafales. They already had Su-30s, like 200 of them, and many other planes. They just wanted Rafales. And they have Rafales now. If half of the Rafales gets destroyed, India can just say, oh, national emergency and buy more. Again, throw $7 billion and buy more. India can do that. Pakistan can't. So what are you flexing here? If your military munitions run out, what you going to do then? India will just make more. A lot of them are indigenous. A lot of them are from Russia. They can just ask Russia for permission to make their own in India. And Russia is probably going, yeah, fine. I guess it benefits me as well. Right? India can ask France, give me more scalp and hammer missiles and Mirage, Rafales. France is not going to say, no, it's good relation, happening great right now. So I don't know what this fight is. So all this shit happened. India blew up Pakistan. Then yesterday night, 12 hours ago, 14 hours ago, Pakistan attacked 12 cities again. I'm guessing the same cities because why not? Why try to change anything? And every single one of those missiles and drones were intercepted again. There are footages out there. People are laughing about it while talking about it with their camera in the roof. Nobody's even panicking because they know nothing's going to happen. But everybody's in panicking Pakistan, nobody's panicking India. Oh, look at the missiles are coming. Only thing they have to say about, oh, by the way, we shelled borders. Okay, mortar shelling is like throwing rocks. If you shell mortars, nobody can stop it. It's going to shell border towns. It's like, it's not even town, it's just rural villages. People barely have homes. So you killed those people and you're flexing. Everyday civilians. India didn't do that, by the way. India didn't randomly shell anyone. Pakistan did. I guess Pakistan can do that and everybody's going to be fine with it. But India have to play with the rules. So yesterday they attacked again 12 cities, 12 different places. They are attacking the entire border. From one side to the entire border. Because they think Indian systems will be overwhelmed. They're not going to be. You can say a lot of things about Modi, but Modi knew all this shit 8-10 years ago. Before he started to make the indigenous systems and buying S-400, he knew this shit was coming. So there is enough defenses in the entire border. Every single one of them were intercepted again. Not a single thing hit mark. India's collecting drones and everything as proof to show the world, like, look at this shit, look at how they shit the bed. I'm guessing India's going to respond again. Because India's been responding, that's all is in India doing. India blew up Lahore and everything because Pakistan attacked 12 hours ago. Again, Pakistan attack and now it's been 12 hours. I'm going to guess India's going to have even bigger response now. You can't give same response, otherwise just rinse and repeat. So what do you think is going to happen now? They couldn't intercept cruise missiles. They couldn't intercept drones, right? Basic drones. That's how shitty their system is. If India uses proper ballistics missile, like if they use BrahMos, Ramjet, cruise missiles, right? Agni 4, Agni 5, ballistic missiles that goes at what, like 10 plus Mach, 20 Mach or something? You think Pakistan is going to intercept that? Why are you doing, like, there is no fight between India and Pakistan. This doesn't work. All your flex is, oh, we have nuclear bomb. We have Iron Dome. You don't. Maybe one of your nuke will hit something, right? Maybe. India's every single one of nukes will hit you. You really want to do this shit? So I don't understand what's happening. I think about the people on the ground that are panicking. Like, what the fuck? Like, because people in power, like whatever military guys in power and military people are just flexing, yeah, we can do this. And they don't care about the common people. People are suffering in Pakistan. That is what's happening right now. India, there is no panic. I walk around everywhere like that. There is no panic right now. Maybe at the border cities there's some concern, but nobody's panicking. But everybody's panicking in Pakistan. Because even in the deep cities, even at the capital and everything, there are bombings happening. If you're not safe at your home, are you even a power at the global scale? There is no bombing in India. Nothing's going through our Iron Dome. But you can't stop this. This should be the wake-up call, like, let's not fuck around with India, right? I'm guessing India's doing this deliberately, and India could have backed down. But India's like, oh, this had enough, because I'm pretty sure they're showing China as well. Like, we can't fight back. We can protect our country with bombings and missiles, right? I think this is why India has to do this. But Pakistan needs to realize, oh, we should back down and come to the peace talks, which I'm hoping it will happen now. This is as like a on the face thing as there can be. Like, okay, you're not winning this even close to. You're not even hitting one mark, while India just exploding everything. Stop doing this. Close voice one.
Pakistan was sleeping quietly on the night of the 7th of May 2025. Then, at 1:05 a.m., everything changed. India launched airstrikes on 9 different spots across Pakistan and Pak. India says over 70 militants were killed. Pakistan's now calling it an act of war. Don't forget, both countries have nuclear weapons.
See, last time this happened in 2019, India did the same surgical strikes. Maybe not in Pakistan, but still Pakistan or Kashmir. Pakistan wasn't like ready to, oh, this is act of war, because the prime minister was different, I'm guessing. But then again, prime minister doesn't have much of power there. So I don't know what changed since then, but they're being too aggressive now. I don't know what is happening. Are they getting pressure for somewhere else? Let's just not name the country or something. To do this shit without even worrying about their own people. Because, oh, this is act of war. This is not a surgical strike. It's an act of war. We're going to act on it. You didn't do shit. If anything, your city is blowing up right now. Why you, like, what are you doing?
The big question is, will Pakistan strike back? On April 22nd in Kashmir, 4 terrorists crossed over the Pakistan and opened fire on tourists, killing 26 people. All across India, people are furious. They marched in protest. After that, India took a calmer approach. They stopped talks with Pakistan and froze the river water pact that sends water from India to Pakistan. Pakistan didn't take it lying down. Their leaders shot back. If you block our water, you'll have blood in those rivers. The Indian
Whose blood? You can you can strike us with shit. Whose blood? You didn't maintain your equipment. You understanding that? I'm genuinely wondering now. Your nukes even working? Nukes are one of the hardest things to make work. Even America has problem with making nuke work. You're not America. Your Chinese defense is not working. I highly doubt it's because of China. It's because you didn't maintain it, right? Come on.
Prime Minister gave full permission to pick targets, make plans, and act as they saw fit. Intelligence agencies went to work tracking down those terrorists.
Yeah, I'm guessing raw intelligence agency already knew that their shit is not working. You know, we can talk about everything we want, but intelligence agency was very differently. They talk with other agencies and things, right? There's many inter-agency talks happening. And they have to have proper proof before they act on anything. If you're a proper country like India, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, they probably knew like this system's not gonna work. That's why they sent drones and cruise missiles, because they knew like we don't have to worry about anything. We don't need to use hypersonic anything.
And the army took its positions along the border. Fighter jets ran drills in the sky, warships patrolled the waters, and soldiers loaded their weapons. Pakistan was on high alert. Nobody there was getting much sleep. It felt like everyone knew something big was coming. On the night of May 7th, 2025, Pakistan was quiet and dark. Most people were asleep in their homes. Then at exactly 1:05 a.m., the whole mood changed. Indian jets lifted off from their runways. In total, they launched 24 rockets. These missiles
I don't know why he's showing those images. The rockets were launched from Rafales, not a ground attack, because they were French missiles. You need a French plane for the French missile, because I'm pretty sure Soviet Sukhoi is not going to be able to use them. This is why Rafales were used. Otherwise, they would have used something else. So they used scalp and hammer missiles from Rafales, from the border, and went back. This was stealth missiles, basically. That's what Scalp's S means.
Flew fast and true toward 9 hidden militant camps. Some camps were tucked away in the hills of Pakistan, administered Kashmir. Others lay out in farming areas in Punjab. India's planners had picked these sites carefully because they believed this is where the militants were. Within minutes, each missile hit its mark. In Muzaffarabad.
By the way, people also have this misconception. I've seen some video, people talking about it. That, oh, by the way, why did they attack near road? That's not near road. Look at the clip again. That's a big explosion. That's why you're seeing at road. That's deep inside it. That's a proper building. Nothing at the road was attacked. Come on.
Locals heard deep booms and saw tall clouds of smoke. In Kotli and Shakagar, flames lit up dark fields. In Ahmedpur Shakia, villagers ran outside to find the ground shaking and dust rising where a camp once stood. Indian leaders say they aimed only at the camps.
Yeah, India has released footages, operational footages of every single hit. India is transparent. India will give you shit. Like, here's the things that were happening. Not like Pakistan will look at the social media, trust me, bro, shoot down Rafales. India's not doing that.
Homes, schools, or army bases were touched. They made sure the attack was precise to spare ordinary people. By 1:25 a.m., the final missile fell into its target and the attack was over. Back at Indian command centers, officers watched their screens and saw that the operation went as planned.
Did he find India? What is it called? Like sample? Oh, fuck. What is it called? Stock footage. Did he type, oh, okay, Indian agency stock footage? Because that's something.
The jets returned to base. Over the border, Pakistan's reaction was quick and intense. Air raid sirens screamed in cities. Soldiers ran to their stations. Radar dishes turned to track the skies. Families woke up in panic, huddling in basements or rushing into the streets. No one slept that night. By morning, the news came out. India says about 50+ militants were killed in the strikes. Pakistan's leaders condemned the attack as an act of war and warned they might respond soon. Masood Azhar was one of India's top terror targets. Intelligence said he helped plan the April 22nd attack in Pahalgam and ran training camps in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. When India struck on May 7th, they aimed at his hideout near Kotli, hitting 9 spots spots with 24 precision missiles, but Ajahar wasn't there. He'd slipped away just hours earlier. Tragically, about 10 of his family members were killed when their house next to the camp was struck. As for Ajahar himself, no one knows for sure what happened to him during the raid. He could still be alive, hiding somewhere, or he might have been injured or killed later. And this isn't the only clash that happened between India and Pakistan. On September 18, 2016, 4 militants slipped across the line of control from Pakistan into Uri, Kashmir. Under cover of darkness, they breached the camp fence and opened fire on sleeping soldiers. By the time help arrived, 19 Indian soldiers were dead and over 30 wounded. The attackers then vanished back across the border. India reacted with outrage, blaming Pakistan-based groups for the raid. Diplomatic ties and some trade with Pakistan were scaled back immediately. India's surgical strikes 10 days later, on the night of September 28th to 29th, India launched surgical strikes against militant camps across the line of control. Quiet planning intelligence pinpointed the exact locations of 7 militant launch pads. Only top commanders knew the plan. Stealth crossing after midnight. Special forces teams crossed the line of control on foot, avoiding patrols in rough terrain. Precision raids. They hit each camp with explosives and grenades, destroying bunkers, weapons, and communication gear. Brief firefights broke out, but the strikes were over in minutes. Swift withdrawal. Troops pulled back across the border quickly, leaving flattened camps behind. Public reveal. At dawn on September 29th, India announced it had destroyed the launch pads and killed a significant number of militants with no Indian casualties. Pakistan denied any incursion, calling India's claims propaganda. Global leaders urged both sides to avoid escalation, warning that conflict between 2 nuclear powers could be disastrous. On February 14th, 2019, a suicide bomber from the militant group Jaish-e-Mohammed rammed an explosive-laden SUV into a convoy of India's Central Reserve Police Force, CRPF, near Pulwama in Indian-administered Kashmir. The convoy was carrying about 78 vehicles and nearly 2,500 officers on their way to provide security for local elections. The blast happened around 3:15 p.m., ripping through one of the buses. Tragically, 40
Isn't that great? They say, oh, okay, let's hold election in Kashmir and we'll see where they wanna stay. And then when the security for election is arriving there, so make sure like there is no attack or something, they attack that convoy itself because they don't want security there, because they don't think they would win that election. Why would they win it? 10 times higher security, 5 times as higher economy. Why the fuck they want to, be with Pakistan? Where is India and where is Pakistan at the global stage, at the economy and army and everything? Right? If one can choose, why would they stay with Pakistan? So what, that money can go to military and nothing happens? But in India, there's a higher economy and everything.
CRPF personnel lost their lives and more than 60 were injured. The attack was one of the deadliest against Indian security forces in decades and sparked a widespread anger and grief across India. India's response? Just days later, on February 26th, India launched Operation Swift Retort under cover of darkness before dawn. Indian Air Force Mirage 2000 jets crossed the line of control and dropped precision bombs on what they called a Jaish training camp in Balakot, Pakistan-administered Kashmir. India said it had struck the camp where the Pulwama attackers were trained. Pakistan scrambled its air defenses, and in a brief dogfight, both sides claimed to have downed enemy aircraft. One Indian MiG-21 Bison was shot down and its pilot was captured, though he was returned safely to India 2 days later. Pakistan also reported losing one F-16 jet, but India denied this claim. And now, on May 7th, 2025, India called its airstrike Operation Sindoor. In Hindu tradition, a husband applies Sindoor, vermilion, to his wife's hair, part as a sign of love and marriage. The name
I using movie clip, man. Might get struck down.
honors the memory of the Pahalgam attack victim whose husband was killed. His widow's Sindoor now marks her loss. India was quick to say its May 7th strikes were aimed only at terrorists, not at Pakistan itself. Operation Sindoor targeted militant camps and training facilities, not civilian areas or military bases. But Pakistan didn't stop there. In Islamabad, top security officials have been holding emergency meetings around the clock, weighing their options. Publicly, Pakistani leaders have reminded everyone that their country is a nuclear power and that their missiles are built to be
Yeah, not just that. One of the people said, oh, we're gonna blow everyone up. Like a kid throwing a tantrum, really?
used, not just stored in silos. I'm not here to push any site's agenda. I just want to bring you the real facts from the ground. And your one like and subscribe motivates me and my team. The tension is real on the ground. Almost immediately after Operation Sindoor, Pakistani forces opened heavy artillery fire across the line of control. Today, the Indian government said that Pakistan struck back on the night of May 8th, firing drones and missiles at places like Srinagar, Jammu, and Amritsar. India's air defense system shot down every
Not just 15 cities. The entire border. From all the way to Kashmir to all the way to Gujarat's Bhuj. Which is the entire border. Like nothing left, then there's the ocean. They literally attack the entire border thinking Indian systems won't be able to protect all of them. They clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because if they don't have that enough intelligence where Indian systems are, right? There are 3 squadrons of S-400. Each squadron has a 16 vehicle that is at the border. Not to mention indigenous systems as well, like Akash and things.
threat, and destroyed drones and missiles are being collected as proof. Early this morning, India hit back at Pakistan's air defense radars, knocking out at least one system near Lahore. Along the line of control
10 places were hit.
in Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan also fired mortars and heavily artillery into border villages in Poonch and Rajouri. Local officials report
All they can
that at
do
least
artillery, okay.
15 civilians, including women and children, were killed in the shelling, with 43 more injured. India's leaders are watching Pakistan's movements closely. India's military remains on high alert along the border, with fighter jets scrambling on training missions and troops reinforcing forward positions. The Prime Minister has publicly said that India wants peace, but will not hesitate to defend itself. Ordinary Pakistani
Yeah, this is obviously 13 hours ago. So when he posted this video, shit was happening. I'm guessing he made this video even before that.
citizens already struggling with high inflation and a shaky economy now face the added fear that a full-scale war could break out at any moment. People
Come on,
report
really?
sleeping with one ear open for sirens, and families are quietly stockpiling food and water just in case. For now, both countries are locked in dangerous standoff.
You're trying to fight India when you can't even afford food. This is not the time to fight, man. This is the problem. People, common people, is going to be messed up. Like, they're going to be in fear all the time. Well, the military leaders don't care.
India insists it struck only terrorists. Pakistan insists it has the right to respond. Meanwhile, ordinary people on both sides of the border watch and wait, hoping the crisis ends without sliding.
Yeah, there is literally no fear at this side, right? I walk around like no one cares. Nobody even talks about this war. Like, okay, I guess that's happening. Yeah. Even at the border, like, people are not really afraid. They're like, okay, shit is happening. Let's be prepared. But nobody's actually afraid of anything. Shit is not even happening, right? Things are being intercepted. Like, there is no explosion.
Into open war. Will Pakistan reply with full force military action? I never imagined my last video would go viral. Thank you for all the responses.
Yeah. Pakistan did reply with more attacks while this video was posted. If you mean by full force as in like they will cross the border, that would be stupidity. Missile is one of those things that could pass by, that didn't. Crossing the border means like you're fighting something you can't attain. India literally is twice as thing you have. And judging from this, your shit doesn't even work that much. Your tanks gonna work, really? Russian tanks barely work during Ukraine-Russia thing. That's Russia. Is your shit gonna work? India is maintaining that shit. They have money. India has money. Right? People can make joke about India all they want, but there's 1.4 billion people. But still one entity, one military. And they have money. Right? It's a one area that is much smaller than Russia, China, USA, all of that. Much smaller landmass. With that level of military, that level of funding, and that landmass, India can defend it. India can just like throw their 2 aircraft carriers at the Pakistan's ports, attack from this border and circle basically Pakistan. What are they gonna do? Oh, we'll blow up the aircraft carrier. Just the same way you blow up the cities. Really? Is your shit even working? This is just fucked up. I don't know where this is going to escalate, but there's going to be Indian response. I know of that because India basically said, like, if Pakistan does something, we're going to respond. We have to. We are one of the global powers. Somebody said, oh, really global power? Yeah, it's top 5 country. What is your definition of global power? Right? Out of near 200, it's top 5 country. So India has to respond. So India is going to respond. You're going to hear about more explosion happening in Pakistan, apparently. That's fucked up. Pakistan has to say, like, enough, let's talk. If they respond again, same thing's going to happen again. India's not going to run out of things. You will. The point of this is just stop doing this shit. Like, nobody benefits. India's not having fun. We are losing money as well. We don't want to do this shit. We didn't ask to have terrorist attack happening in Kashmir. You did this shit. Own up and back off. What the hell? What is happening right now? I still don't understand why Pakistan isn't thinking that rather than making India enemy, rather than worry about Kashmir, we can't even take care of our own cities and our own country. How are we going to take care of Kashmir? Oh, we want Kashmir. Oh, we want Kashmir for what? Water? You already had the treaty. Water was already working. You fucked that up. You reverse damaged it. So rather than worrying about Kashmir, how about worry about, like, let's do business with India. India's economy is growing. Maybe our economy will grow with it. We are the neighbors. Why not? But no, let's for Kashmir, let's attack them even though we can't. Right, well, this was the update, I guess, up to now. When you see this video, who knows what's going to happen next. But yeah, I'll see you next time.